What's up, Raider Nation? I'm back at it again, and after last night's game, I'm worn the hell out. Let's get at it. What's up, Raider Nation? What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Joe Raider back at it again after that Monday night football game, that very long extended game, that game that I should have called out the next game for. That was very long and very crazy and very hectic. As Raiders fans, we know the best and kind of play with your emotions, the up and down roller coaster. We saw some good things, we saw some bad things. I'm going to go over a few things of last night's drives, last night's game overall, and things we need to see in the Pittsburgh game coming up. I'm going to get more into that later on this week. So last night at the beginning of the game, Derek Carr and the rest of the offense looked really bad. I guess because of the preseason, they didn't want to show too much. So when you don't want to show too much, you don't get that much actual practice reps or actual reps. They had to live script it game one Monday Night Football, and it looked like crap at the beginning, to be honest, against a good defense in the Ravens. They were coming with the zero blitz. They were coming with all the pressure. In the beginning, Derek Carr was forcing the ball a little bit to Darren Waller, but rightfully so. That's what he does. He's the number one wide receiver, even though he's a tight end. But he whatever works, it doesn't matter in my mind. The biggest story of all this is Max Crosby. Max Crosby has completely taken over the game. He looks like a different person out there. He looks like the 4th overall pick. He doesn't look like Cleve Farrell. Cleve Farrell was a healthy scratch. I guess they needed more offensive linemen. First quarter, we looked very sloppy. Max Crosby looked really good. Yannick looked really good. The only thing I can really nitpick about the defense is the interior line was kind of getting bullied around as I thought they would. Brown was getting underneath of the coverage that Gus Bradley is known for. It was kind of getting exposed a little bit. During the first quarter, we had some sloppy play. Obviously, Josh Jacobs was fighting through a lot more than just sickness. He was fighting through his toe. He had to change his shoes through the game, basically because he had that turf toe. He still looked like a warrior overall. He's still holding down the team as an overall leader, more so than anyone else. He looks like he's holding this group together. Rumor was that he begged to come out in the field. He begged the actual coaches and the trainers to get on the field, and he would basically have to be limping off the field to actually get him off. He played his ass off. He scored 2 touchdowns. He worked really hard. My hat's off to Josh Jacobs. My hat's off to the actual defense. They played a really good game despite the linebackers kind of being iffy. I think we need a little bit faster at linebacker. We're going to need to pick up another guard now that Denzel Good went out for the year. He went on IR. I think he tore his Achilles. So don't be surprised if we trade for a guard, because there's not too much in free agency overall. So you're going to have to look to actually trade, and it shouldn't be too hard. I think Gruden and Mayock are going all in this year. They're throwing in all their cards because they know their time might be running up. And after last night's game, I was very impressed by the defense overall. I was kind of discouraged in the beginning because Gruden was supposed to be this mastermind, but I see that they were trying to get the wheels spinning. And overall, Baltimore has a great defense. My hat's off to them. They're pretty good as well. But the Raiders need to play better when they play the actual Pittsburgh Steelers. This can't happen. They don't just have one guy to kind of be afraid of. On that offense, you were like, Lamar. The Steelers will be a different story, but that's for my next video, so stay tuned for that. But this game, my hat's off to pretty much everyone contributed in one way or another. If you watch the replays, you'll look back and go, man, it took that much to win the game, but that's what a real NFL team does. Now, if we can be consistent, that's been the biggest problem with this team thus far under Gruden. It's consistency. We go 6-3, we go 6-4, and then we tank all the way to 8-8 or 7-9. So consistency. We're playing good teams and winning. We showed that last year. We need to be consistent throughout the board, make it to the playoffs, but one game at a time. The Steelers are next. The biggest issue right now is getting another guard and then I guess activating another running back. We got Clinton-Dix, so he should contribute a lot more so than the other safety that I didn't want on the field. Not saying any names, but I'm pretty sure I'll just drop his name over here. But anyways, I've been on the record about him not even being on an NFL team. But that's despite the point. That's despite all the points. We need to have the best players on the field at all times. Trayvon Mullen was kind of a suspect through the game, and against some actual average wide receivers at best. They're okay, but they're not the greatest wide receivers. You're going to run into a lot better than that. If you're going to call yourself a number 1 cornerback, you can't be getting burned by number 2 and 3 cornerbacks. They're guys that they planned on starting this year were on IR. So these guys are kind of their fallback, and you got burned by them. Casey Hayward played a decent game. The corners I wasn't too impressed with, more so the defensive ends with Yannick and also Max Crosby played one hell of a game. He was all over Lamar Jackson. Just took over the game. Look, a la Khalil Mack-esque. He looked like that. But, man, he's so long, and he just nothing but effort 100% of the time. Safety, I would say Abram played a really good game. He had a good breakup. He was all over the place. It wasn't out of control. He tried a couple of times, if you noticed. He tried to go off the charts, but he didn't quite do it. And my hat's off to him. He played a great game. I'm sure over time everyone will get better, but there's little things they need to clean up, and I'm sure Gus knows all about that. So what I really wanted to talk about was Derek Carr's performance. He was kind of lackluster, and then a light bulb turned on in the second half. He completely lit it up, especially on that last drive. That last drive, there was no stopping him. He was throwing to Edwards, and that's it. It doesn't matter if Humphreys was covering him or not. That whole drive set up the game. And then Carlson hitting that field goal. The way they prepared that overall seemed like a team that really had their stuff together. They not only executed the plays, but they had a play for the play. They were ready to spike the ball. They were ready to go. So they were ready to spike the ball as soon as they caught it. I mean, not just sometimes you see teams do that and they're not all the team is all over the place and they don't get the ball spiked, so they don't stop the ball in time. They ran to the line every time. They were all in motion. They were all in sync with one another, and I was really impressed by that. And then that's when you seen the tide turn, and then that's kind of how you knew it was over with. And then overtime, we got the ball. We should have scored. And it's kind of questionable why we're, doing hard counts on the 1 yard line. It's kind of questionable why they didn't call a touchdown when Derek jumped over the line. Then they didn't kind of review it. They kind of half-assed reviewed it. But we still got the win. I'm kind of happy more so at this win than anything else because, they would have said, well, Lamar never got the ball back again. He did get the ball back again. And Max created enough havoc, created that double team on the spin for Nassib to get in and get that sack and the strip and then get the ball back. And there was a little chaotic towards the end as well. The kicker must have not have heard, or whatever, personnel must have not have heard, kicking personnel on the field, so they were out there too late. They didn't have any more timeouts. So they got a penalty. And then here we go with Baltimore calling a cover 0 once again. And Derek overruled Gruden's call. Gruden's call was to run the ball, and Derek overruled it. And he saw the look that he wanted and then just heaved the ball in the air. Zay Jones got it underneath the ball, and the rest is history, basically. I was emotionally drained after that, as we all were. I mean, the whole game was up, down, up, down, up, down. And you don't want to play like that, as Gruden says, but a win's a win at the end of the day, especially on Monday Night Football against the Baltimore Ravens. You want to have that ability to beat teams like that, especially when you're, if you want to make the playoffs, you have the confidence to know that I can stop Lamar, I can do these things. But it was a great win. There's some stuff to clean up on. There's some personnel that needs to be shuffled or personnel that needs to be picked up. But overall, great job. And I see you guys next video. Please like and subscribe. I'm an upcoming YouTuber. I need your help. Share with the rest of Raider Nation. Let them know what I'm doing if you like it. I'm not a fanboy. I still think that Carr needs to clean up things. I still need, the whole team needs to clean up things. But I'm here to give you the real deal every time. So please like and subscribe. Wake your neighbors up. Tell the rest of Raider Nation to please like and subscribe. And hopefully this can grow and grow, and we can hear the content we want to hear rather than the ones that's forced upon us. Peace.